Hello, hi. Today we are going to know about the importance of play in child's life. So the play will improve the social quotient, emotional quotient, and as well as intelligence in the child. So let us see how these things are improving in the child. The social quotient. When the child is playing in a group of children, the child tries to make friends with them, and they'll also understand taking turns and waiting for their turn, and as well how to be assertive in a group of people. All these things the child can learn only in the play. The second thing is emotional quotient. As we see, some children are very happy, some children seems to be cranky, some children are sad. So the child will understand the emotions of others, and he'll learn how to act or react to the emotions. This is the improvement of emotional quotient. And the third thing is, as the child is being put in different scenarios and situations while in the play, so he'll have a better learning than the children who are not allowed to play in a group of people. So most of the parents, when they come to me, they complain that their children are breaking the toys, they are no more interested in the old toys, and especially in this pandemic, they are asking me to show them some kind of games which they can engage the child. So let us see how we can have a plan for the child, play plan for the child. The first thing is, you always should have a plan for the child's play. It may be games or it may be some kind of creative work. So you should have a plan and make a chart for 1 week or 10 days, where every day morning the child will get up and he'll see the chart and he'll understand what kind of games or recreation he's going to have on that particular day. Second thing is, if you don't have a time and the child is grown up, you can ask the child to prepare a chart so that he'll be engaged for 1 day in preparing the chart. Second thing is, whenever the parent is playing with the child, the pretend play plays an important role. So you have to become a child at times in front of your child. So the child will become a parent and you will become a child. So you are having a role exchange so that the child understand what kind of pain you are going through or what kind of joy you are having. So they understand your role in their life. The third thing is, they should have a proper place, and you should give a clear instructions that they have to take care of the place and they have to take care of their toys and they have to clean the play area after their play is been finished. And one more thing is, the parents complaining about getting bored. Let me give you an example. If I ask you to have curd rice 3 times a day for 5 days, what will happen? See what is happening. You say that it's boring. Same way, if the children are being exposed to the toys continuously, by looking at them, they get bored. So don't show all the toys. So try to have an almara for them. Keep all the toys in that. According to the chart, take out that day's toys. The rest of the toys will be kept inside the almara, which is being logged. So that once in a while or once in a week or once in 10 days, if the child is exposed to a particular toy, definitely they'll have interest in the toy. The second thing regarding the breaking of the toys, as the children are very curious to know what is happening, so definitely they'll break the toys and see what mechanism it is having in the toy. So that is quite natural. So that depends upon how far you can financially engage, get the child toys. If the child is continuously breaking, so try to get them a cheaper version of the toys, so that let them break and let them see what is happening inside. This happens with every child. And now coming to the last, I'm going to show you few kinds of games where you can engage your child by making small charts in a piece of paper. So let us start with the games. So the first game is, here we have a kind of a chart where I have blocks, and few blocks have an arrow marks. So now what the child has to do is, he has to identify what is here, and depending upon the arrow, he has to write the E here. Same way, I have stick to 3 stars here, so he has to stick 3 stars here. Same way, you can ask the child to fill the blocks which is been having an arrow. If the child is bit elderly child, like 7-8 years, make the same task bit complex, like how I have done here. See, I have 3 red dots here. So he has to copy here from here to here. At the same time, you can draw here also, so that he has a pattern for it. So that depends upon the age of the child, the more the complexity. So let us come to the second game. The second game is, here I have stuck some smileys. This I have given the number. So when you say number 1, where is the smiley in the left hand side? So he has to identify where the number 1 smiley. You can use smileys or some kind of any kind of pictures. And if the child is a toddler, you can use simple shapes or flowers or animals, so that they'll try to understand matching very easily. And the third game which I want to show you is, I have stick a thread to a piece of paper. You can do it in a large chart or on the floor, where you ask the child to roll the marble in between these threads. So you can write the score also. For example, if the ball is reaching here and going this way, you can give him 80 points. If the ball is going straight, then you can give him 40 points. At the end of the 100 points or 200 points, what the child is going to get, you can write it here. For 100 points, you are going to get 1 chocolate. For 200 points, you are going to get 1 Maggie. So this is how the concentration of the child will improve. See, the ball will be rolling, and at one point of time, it stucks there. So you can use a marble there. If the child is having some kind of inability in speech, you can ask the child to blow thermocol balls between this, so that the speech will improve very easily. And the fourth game which I want to show you is, here I have a few pictures with the alphabets. So the child has to match the picture and the alphabet. For example, here we have a carrot and a C, so the child has to match this. So few pictures will be randomly, you can change. You can put some other alphabet to see the flower. Here the same flowers are there, the O is there, but the color has been changed. So this is not the correct matching. This is how you can improve the concentration and the coordination between the two patterns. One is alphabet, the other is this. This you can do with squares and triangles and any kind of shapes. And the fifth game which I want to show you is, so this is the game where I have done few patterns on my right, and this is the left hand side, which you have to tell him. For example, you are asking him to show where one gold dot with 1 star, 4 gold dots with 1 star. This is the picture where it is. And again you can ask them 1 gold dot, 3 green and 3 blue. This is the second picture which is been there. So he has to, whenever you are asking this, he has to show where the picture is. Here the 4 silver stars. This is the place. So this is how you can create your own patterns. The last one which I want to show, the paper game. Here we have numbers, and here we have alphabets. So what is happening is, you are telling him to identify what is a C4. So this is the C alphabet and this is the 4 number. So they are going to match it. So here it is an animal. This is an horse. And if you ask them what is 5B, this is 5 and this is B. This is an ice cream cone. So they are trying to have coordination between the number and the alphabet, and they are looking at different patterns, and they also will have the coordination between the fingers as well, because 5 and B, see, this is the coordination. So the concentration levels will be very, very high. And the last thing which I want to show you regarding the games is, so this is the ball game. This is a normal ball which I want to teach you some kind of attention enhancing tasks. Here we are tapping the ball with right hand and catching with right hand. Here we are tapping right and catching with left. Right. So this is one pattern. You can do with the same thing. Or you can make 2 children stand if you have 2 children. One is throwing with the right hand, the other is catching with the left hand, the other is throwing with left hand, and the first child is catching with the right hand. Or else you can do 1, 2, turn the ball, 3, 4, turn the ball, 5, 6, turn the ball. This is how you can teach. So these are all the few games which I want to tell. In this pandemic, as the children are not going out of the house, so you can create your own games so that you can engage. At the same time, create their play plan as well. This will help the child to be enhancing their attention and concentration as well. So in the next video, we are going to talk about how to understand the emotions of the child and how to teach them emotional intelligence. So thank you so much for watching.